So after this brief introduction, I will also invite Tor, who is from SINTEF, the coordinator of Change to Twin, to introduce us to Change to Twin, generally speaking, the project, the people behind it, and what we are planning to do from now on. Tor?
Yes, thank you. So most of you have now seen the short video, and that's probably as good a presentation as what I will give. So digital twins for every manufacturing SME is our, let's see, why? Yeah, okay. So digital twin for every manufacturing SME. As you know, we are a European project that support manufacturing SMEs to improve their digitalization by starting to use or increasing their use of digital twins. And we believe that digital twins is extremely important for future competition and to make companies strong. So when we started to draft out this idea back in 2019, we had a discussion about what is a digital twin, and you can go on the web and you will find a lot of very application domain oriented definitions, but we tried to make it at a higher level. So we say that's a digital replica or an artifact that can be a product, machine, process, or service that is so accurate that it can be used as a basis for taking decisions. Somehow, traditional use of computer-aided design, for example, that was a nominal model. It was not actually what was produced, so it's not a digital twin. And this digital replica and the physical worlds are often connected by streams of data, sensor data, but it can also be more manually updated. So,
excuse me, would you like to share the slides?
Oh, I'm not sharing?
Yes, please.
I tried to click on the sharing. Let's see.
Share screen, the green one.
Yeah, okay, maybe I just forgot. Now it's sharing?
Yes, now you are sharing. Thank you.
Yeah,
sorry for interrupting.
Differences in different tools. I think in Teams, I just click on the window. So, so this is the definition that we came up with when we started out. And manufacturing is very wide. So I had a more narrow mind about what a digital twin was when we started out drafting the ideas of change to twin. But I understood that it was much wider than my original somehow work on more geometric digital twins. So we have these vouchers and open calls that you will hear more about. Then we have a marketplace where we have provided digital twin solutions from the consortium, but also invite others to come and display their offers. But we have a process to ensure that what we get is real offers and not just advertisements. Then we have had 4 experiments up front or at the start of project pilots that are now completed, and we build a community virtual space for those that want to connect and discuss digital twins. And for the manufacturing SMEs, there is funding, can get funding for the assessment of digital twin maturity, and then also for testing out and optimization and working on the experiments. But you will get to know more about this. Then for the technology providers, they can publish their technology on the marketplace and get help from digital innovation hubs to create receipts for how to use digital twins for the different SMEs and somehow connect to SMEs. Then for the digital innovation hubs, that is somehow the link, more local link or regional links between industry, technology providers and competence centers. We have been performing training in the certification for the digital twins and certified, I think it's 54 digital twins that are also active in helping to make applications. And then they do these assessments and make receipts, and they can also use change to twin marketplace and be in broker between SMEs and technology providers and competence centers. The certification program, I think you will get more into this. So we have been running this certification program. And you see that the DIHs certified are widespread across Europe. And these pilot experiments that we already run at the start of the project, it was for packaging industry. It was process manufacturing, that was paint, additive manufacturing, biomedical manufacturing. And you see that this is very wide. Somehow packaging industry, it's a transport of the products out to the customer and how to somehow plastic wrap them in with minimal plastic. Then looking into more efficiency of processing, manufacturing paint, additive manufacturing. It's been using pictures to understand what is from each layer, to understand what is being produced and what is happening. And then biomedical manufacturing, where looking at product life cycle management and all of the different aspects in the life cycle of objects or products. Then you see here the consortium. We are 10 somehow core partners that run the project, and then we have had 18 pilot partners in these 4 experiments, 8 in 4 experiments. So and the core partners have been assisting the pilot partners, and we are widespread over Europe. So then you will get chances to ask questions after the next presentation. So now I end.
Thank you, Tor. Yes, indeed, we are. If you have questions, you can write them in the chat, or we can just discuss at the end of the presentation. Sorry. Right now, we are going to answer a very important question, and we are going to invite Francesca to tell us why digital twin. Francesca.
Yes. Hello. Can you see me? Yes.
Yes.
I will share my presentation. Just a second. No, sorry. Just a second. I'm sorry. Here. Share. And here. Okay. So now you should be able to see the slide. So good morning, everyone. The scope, I think, of this session is to invite you to participate to our open call for assessment. So we provide this 10,000 K for the assessment and to help SME to build solution, digital twin solution for solving their issue. And my role here is to give you some idea of some example of what are the companies that we are looking for. And also at the end, I will provide some feedback on of what happened in the previous call that can help you to better do the assessment and eventually later on the implementation. So I will present 3 examples of pilot cases that we had, and then some feedback from the first assessment call. So the first one is the one that was mentioned by Tor. So it's a RoboPack use case. So the packaging industry. So RoboPack basically is an Italian machine builder which specialized on machine for packaging. And in particular, they had at the moment the situation is that this machine is wrapping the plastic film around the pallet. So to palletize the load, and this operation is done based on the operator experience. So it decide where it is better to reinforce and with the plastic film, and where is maybe less important, depending on the film and depending on the load. So what RoboPack would like to do, and actually they have done, is to correlate the use of the plastic film with the track. I mean where depending on the road that the truck will take to bring the pallet from the wrapping location to the final customer. And this will because based on this path, basically the load will have different acceleration, and so the pallet can deformate or can break depending on exactly on this path. So they build they build a model to simulate the behavior of this palletized load based on different acceleration, and based also of different type of film. So they had to do also characterization of different plastic film. And as I said, the idea is to ensure the stability that required for the palletized load, guarantee that the products arrive integer to the final customer, but on the other side, minimize the consumption of the packaging material. So this digital twin solution will help to provide the optimized wrapping cycle for each and every load, depending on where this load will have to be delivered, and so based on the way that the truck will follow. So this is one pilot. Another one is Precious. Precious is a Greek company. So they are specialized, one of the biggest printing company in Greece. They have all in-house, so the vertical integration, so they control all the stages of the production, so which help them to be more flexible and also to improve the balance between quality and price. But however, at the moment they lack the digitalization of the processes, of the current processes, to enable a real-time decision making. They don't have simulation environment to test or modify to optimize the production. So when they have received different order, they don't have the tool to prioritize them and to see what is the best approach. They have a defect product, which they find out late. They use, of course, a lot of raw materials: paper, ink, aluminium, water, which of course has a cost, and of course also an environmental footprint. And especially now with the rising cost or eventually even unavailability of raw materials, this is becoming a real issue. So they focus. I mean, here you can see on the bottom left that they have different processes in-house, but they decided to focus on the process of printing, which consists of these three phases: the pre-press, the press, and the post-press. Why? Because they identified that the 8% of the cost take place in this phase. So this is the phase, the part of the process that they want to focus on. They also already collect near real-time data, but they don't have any from the machine that are involved in this process, but they don't have any decision-making tool on top of that. And they think that the use of digital twin will enable to monitor and optimize this process. So they identify business KPIs, increasing the efficiency of the production, reducing the defective products, and also reducing the use of raw materials. As we discussed, these are the main KPIs that they have identified. And they also see the benefit of this digitalization because they will allow to have a better look on the condition of the machines, so more transparency, a cost reduction that also based on the waste reduction in terms of material, but also in defective products, optimization of human and energy resource, this decision-making automation, and early detection of failure. And also they want to gain expertise in artificial intelligence methods for anomaly detection. So they are building. What they did, they used the change to twin components to validate and connect them with the precious production chain, with the focus on as we said, on the press production process. And so by mirroring the asset, as you can see, they were able to conduct this root cause analysis, and they will be able to anticipate future events to minimize impact. And also they will be able to simulate the different scenario that will arise with the different order in order to optimize the press production, the printing production. Yeah, so the last example that I would like to show to you is FINSA job group, Filtros Industriale previously, and they are a Spanish SME which is specialized in high-tech fabrics for filtration processes. So they build all these kind of filters of different material, and they identified also in this case a part of the production process, which is the one that which is the most complex and the one that caused most of where the implementation of the digital twin could improve the identified KPIs, which are not mentioned here. So in particular, they identified the waving process because this process is very complex. There are a lot of parameters involved. It's very dynamic, so it requires to take decision very quickly, and it requires the operator to have a lot of knowledge because there are a lot of peculiarities. So their objective is to develop a software that, based on the data from the machine and based on the parameters that are relevant for the process, is able to optimize the waving planning and also the use of the resources in terms of energy resources of the process. So these are the three examples that well, I mean, are among the 20s assessment and the 10th deployment voucher already is still ongoing, and also the pilot. So we have a large variety of example that of how the digital twin can help companies. We also try to get some feedback and to derive some lesson learned from what happened in the first calls. And what we saw, for example, is that it's very important to do a thorough analysis of the situation. So to have a clear view of the current status, to plan what is needed to be done for reaching the desired state, and also to think about potential issue that you can encounter in this process. So also, as we are trying to say, it's also important to develop a strong why. So what is driving you and what is driving this development, and also to try to bring on board also other department of your organization on the use of the digital twin. Also, identify the KPIs is important. You also can select a technology that to be implemented in the digital twin from, as Tor said, from the marketplace that Change to Twin provides. Of course, is not covering everything. So there is, of course, you can also use other technology that is relevant, but we think we already built in some extensive pool of technology that it is proven relevant in all the use case that we have discussed. So you can have a look and see if there is something that makes sense for you, or you can also ask your digital innovation app about that. So the other thing that is important is the selection of the asset. So you have to make sure that the asset that you are selecting, you are able to get the data, to obtain the data, and you can generate a complete twin process, so that the asset that you are selecting represent the complete process that you want to digitalize. Also, this help the solution provider to understand the requirements that are involved. And another things we notice indeed is the infrastructure that you have at your disposal. Yeah, so we suggest to be, let's say, at digitalization level minimum 2, because if you are lower than that, then building a digital twin, it's becoming too much in the, too big endeavor within the scope of what we can offer. So we suggest that the digitalization, I think it's a requirement also, the digitalization level should be minimum 2. So you can assess that yourself, but what I wanted to share is that don't cheat, because it's for you, then you will have issue later on, because it's very difficult to make all the step in one. And then the twin building. So we saw that is very important that you, and this is, I want to strengthen this part, that the use of a standard is considered from the beginning of the project. So you have, we really suggest that you work on using technology based on existing standards, because this will help you in the building and implementation of the digital twin, but later on also in the maintenance. yes, pause your digital twin ambition every now and then, and rethink what you are doing and the effort that is needed for the development. So try to make a realistic plan, and also realistic expectation within the scope of the project. For example, define achievable goals given the complexity of the phenomenon that you want to digitize, reproduce digitally. Especially, that's an example, because actually, for example, in Robopack, they wanted to build as I said, this model of the palletized load, and at the beginning they wanted to do it in 3D, but then they realized that it was too complex, so they had to scale down to a 2D model, which was still good and for reaching the objective. So you have also to think about this complexity. Yes, and also rethink everything with the digital approach. Not only try to reproduce digitally a process or a phenomenon, but rethink it in a different way. Yeah, so that was my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francesca. So now that we have a better understanding of what a digital twin is, and we do understand how digital twinning can help your businesses, we would like to encourage you to take a first step towards digitalizing your manufacturing business. And this is where we are talking about the second assessment voucher open call. So I will be introducing you to the call that we are having right now. I just need to hide this floating meeting. Okay, so you can see it better. Okay, you have already heard from my colleagues Tor and Francesca about the change to twin. Our intent, our goal is to ensure that manufacturing SMEs have easy access to the technologies they need in order to deploy digital twin. And how are we going to do that, or how have we been doing it so far, and we are continuing to do it? We are doing this through launching open calls. This is the cascade funding, the money that Change to Twin, the project Change to Twin, obtained from the Commission, from the European Commission, is now being redistributed to smaller businesses. In our case, we are talking about manufacturing SMEs and mid-caps. So the first step towards digital twinning, in our opinion, and through the planning that we have with Change to Twin, is to have an assessment of your business. And this assessment can be done by a certified DIH. We already have registered 54 DIHs, certified DIHs in our project. And they can assess your status, the status of your manufacturing business, and deliver a report with steps and recipes regarding technologies that you can use and how to bring digital twins in your business. You don't have to, you don't need any prior knowledge in order to present your proposal for this second assessment voucher call. The call is opened until the end of this month, the 30th of September. It is a very, very easy process. I will walk you through afterwards. And there's plenty of time for you to consider digital twinning and to start your application. We are intending with this second open call to select up to 30 beneficiaries, 30 manufacturing SMEs or mid-caps, which will get a thorough analysis of their digitization potential. So they are going to enter a program lasting 1 to 2 months where the Digital Innovation Hub will deliver a report detailing improvements achievable with digital twin technologies and the technologies they can use in order to implement the digital twin. Some of them are available on our own marketplace, as Tor was saying earlier. Okay, I have this again, just 1 second. What we are offering 10,000 euros, up to 10,000 euros in as a lump sum, in order for you to get the assistance of the Digital Innovation Hub and be able to have this recipe that will provide you with input, knowledge, and a third-party perspective on your business and how it can get to digital twinning. The lump sum, can you please mute yourself? Whoever joined last. Thank you. The voucher, as I was saying, is offered as a lump sum, and it covers specific costs. I will show you the budget later in the presentation, including the contracting of the certified DIH of choice. We have 54 DIHs, I already said that, but they are, you can choose one, whichever is closer to your business. We are looking for manufacturing SMEs and mid-caps. And if you have any doubts, or if you are a manufacturing SME, or if you are an SME, or if you are a mid-cap, let me just clear that up for you. If you have a headcount of less than 250 and your net income is less than 50 million euros, you are an SME. If you have a headcount of less than 3,000 units, you are under the mid-cap category. So this makes you eligible. A very important aspect here, when we are looking at the status of an SME or a mid-cap, we are considering all the businesses that are correlated to the applicant. That is, if you have a branch, if you're applying as a branch and you have a head office and you are part of a larger organization, we are going to look into the numbers of everyone connected in that business and see if you still fulfill with the condition of a manufacturing SME. This is not being done at the status of the application. The application doesn't require you to submit any documents, but we are going to do a formal check later on and we can check that. Another condition is that you are located in the member states of the European Union and its overseas countries and territories, or in the associated countries to Horizon 2020, or in the United Kingdom. If you don't find yourself in the drop-down list in the application form, then it's most likely you're not eligible. However, write us an email and we'll see if we're missing something. Francesca mentioned earlier that we are looking ideally at the level 3 of digitalization, but you are eligible to participate with the level 2 digitalization level. The ideal case, as I was mentioning, we are not looking for a concrete plan for implementation. We are not talking about the project per se. You just need to have the goal, the final goal, to use digital twin in your business after having passed through this assessment voucher, assessment program, and you have received this assessment report. So digital twin should be used for one or more of these purposes, like virtual design, customer engagement, commissioning, feedback to engineering, preventive maintenance, smart logistics, or smart systems. You can see a full definition of this in the guide for applicants. The assessment voucher, just for you to get an image of the timeline, we have started the preparation a long time ago. We are now accepting proposals until the 30th of September at 5 p.m. Brussels time. And the eligible proposals, that is, if they are submitted before the deadline, the submitted proposals will enter an evaluation process, and they are going to be communicated the results, irrespective if they are selected or not. We are going to take about 1 month to do the entire process and to notify you about the result. Once you have been selected, if you have been selected, you will be notified and you will be receiving the FSCP agreement, which is financial support to third parties, sub-grant agreement, and you are going to sign it and enter the program, which will last at most 2 months, and you will be receiving mentoring from the DIH of your choice in order to present your in order to deliver your report. So the evaluation process, as I was mentioning earlier, it takes you through the eligibility check, which is mainly us verifying that you obey by the eligibility criteria that we have in the grant agreement. We'll have an individual and independent expert evaluation on your proposals, and the proposals above threshold will enter the consensus meeting of our project consortium, and those selected will sign the agreement. As mentioned, some of the criteria: SME, manufacturing SME or mid-cap, the eligible country, minimal level of digitization. The proposals have to be in English, and all mandatory sections are duly completed. A very important aspect here is that you should not have received more than 100,000 euros from other I4MS or SIA projects. So if this sounds familiar to you, please check what amount of money you have received and make sure that you don't exceed 100,000 euros between all the projects that you have received financing from. Another important criteria here is the absence of conflict of interest. That is, you are in no way related to any of us partners in the Change to Twin consortium. The evaluation criteria takes into account excellence, impact, implementation of the proposals. These are sections that you need to fill in your application form, and you get an extra point for the prioritized sectors that are named in the guide for applicants. I am not going through the criteria right now because you can see them very clearly detailed in the guide for applicants, but if you have any questions, we are more than happy to try to answer them right away in this webinar. Well, there is one important aspect here. When it comes to the implementation criterion, please consider that you have some resources available to involve in the digitization process, to collaborate with the DIH in order to deliver the assessment report. So right now, what I would like to do is walk you through very briefly the application form, because I do know that it can sound scary sometimes, and it can just sound like something that you're not familiar with, and you feel like it may take a lot of time and a lot of knowledge on your side to complete it. But I will just briefly show it to you, and you can see for yourself that this is something that will take a few moments of your time, and you would be already submitting the application for the Change to Twin assessment voucher. So if you go to our open call page, my colleague can paste it in the chat. You will see here you have all the documents that I mentioned before. You have the list of DIHs. Please join the community, the Change to Twin community that we have, where you will find answers to other questions as well, and you'll be always notified and updated on the changes that we make. So if you go to apply now, I have a draft, but you can start a new application. I'll just go to my draft. You can start it and edit it as many times as you want. You can either invite someone to assist you and to help you with the application. So basic information is just project acronym, you want it or not to put it. Whatever is marked with an asterisk is compulsory. So name and surname, contact information, that's pretty easy. Just a few seconds of your time and you're already done with that section. The legal name of the company, country where you are registered. I was telling you that you have the drop-down list, and these are the eligible countries. If you don't find yourself here, you can just shoot us an email or send us a message through the community, the help desk. Here you'll see the definition, as I've already mentioned. You'll see it in the guide for applicants, and you have to be one of these type, SME or mid-cap. The code, here you have the link if you don't know how to identify yourself. Here you have the list of the 54 DIHs that are certified with Change to Twin, and you can choose one of them. If you're not familiar with any of them, just choose the one that is closest to your home, in your country, and they will be the one assisting you in your own language, if that is the case. So the criteria that I mentioned here, you have the chance to make your business shine and to explain to us and to convince us why you need to move to digital twin. and what are your objectives in order to do that. Level of digitalization, again, you can find the TTTech Industry 4.0 Maturity Index. If you're not familiar with it, you'll see the link and the explanation in the guide for applicants of the frequently asked questions. And why do you think that? Like, this is your self-assessment of the digitalization level. So why do you think it's that is the adequate level for you? Impact, as I mentioned, we have the business impact, time critical information, KPIs. Again, it's a drop down, you can choose from it. So no time for this one. You don't need a lot of time for this one. Implementation, just present yourselves with your team and whatever else you'd like to add. So declaration of honor is just click, and that's more or less everything that you have to do here. So oh, I forgot the budget. So you have the country of the DIH to be hired on the previous section. In the previous section, you have selected the DIH. Now you see the countries here, and you can select the country. If you don't know where it is based, you go to the list of DIHs and you can see everyone where it is, and that will be very easy for you to do. We are asking for a small budget, for a very brief budget from you. And here you will have, this can look a bit scary and mysterious. It really isn't. It's the country correction coefficient. You can find in the frequently asked question. And for example, let's say Portugal, you have 84.20%. I'm just guessing, I don't know for sure. And then you just say how many people, how many persons you dedicate to this project. You can consider here your own people, the DIHs. Please bear in mind that you can work on this with your selected DIH, and they can assist you with everything. Here is a formula, so the percentage that we spoke before in the country correction coefficient multiplied by the number of full-time equivalent persons. So if you have 3, that means you can have more people with less dedicating less time, but altogether they shouldn't make the full-time equivalent of 1 person. And here you can insert your cost. Mobility cost, if you're considering some traveling between you and the DIH. Consumables, that's something for you to know, and you know the maximum amount here, so make sure you don't exceed that, okay? So you'll have the sum here and overheads, which is 25% of the total direct cost. The total budget cannot exceed about 14,000 euros, which is 10,000 euros in financing. That is 70% of the total budget. We are only financing 70% of the total budget, which cannot be more than 10,000 euros. And you have here another question regarding I4MS and SIGN projects. So I'm really hoping that this helps you understand better the process of applying for an assessment voucher with the change to twin. And I think we've taken a bit too much of the time, so we'll just go into the question sections right now, into the questions part right now. Maybe we'll start with the chat, and we'll go. And if you have questions, you can, by raise of hands, we can take more questions live. Okay, I'm looking through the chat. A recently approved EDI can get certified. Gladys, I'm glad I have you here. Maybe you can answer that question, please.
Yes, actually, a list of certified DHs has been already established and is also available online on our website. As Tor and you, Anca, said, we have a current network of 55 DHs that have been trained and prepared to deliver their support to SMEs. So yes, we plan to work with the newly selected EDHs, but as you know, they are just starting to be operational. That's why we choose to rely on DHs for this call. So anyway, what is possible for you is to get in touch with DHs certified in your country and to work with this digital innovation hub. If you have already a company interested, and also what I can say to you is if you are interested in to gain competencies in terms of digital maturity assessment, I will also recommend you to have a look at our YouTube channel, because here are all the trainings that we provide to the DAGs. They are available, so you can have a look at it. I don't know if it's helpful, or please let me know. I think it was Christina who answered this question.
Okay, so are we taking any more applications to certify DIHs or EDIHs?
No, just to answer clearly, no, as I said, we have already our network. We have 54 DAGs, and as I said, in June and also last year, they have attended a certification event. They have been trained and prepared to deliver the assessment. So no, the only possibility for you is to get in touch with an already certified DAG. So check in your country which DAGs, the Digital Innovation Hub is already certified.
And maybe collaborate, right?
Yeah,
they could collaborate to help an SME. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Gladys, for your attendance and for your answer. We have another question, Borut, if you don't mind. I see this was sent to the direct message, but I'm going to say your question and answer to it. A manufacturing company seated in one country, same as the DIH originates from, has a daughter company in another country and would like to apply with that one. Is the unit in another country eligible for applying with DIH in the country of mother company? Okay, so if I'm getting this right, as I was mentioning during the presentation, it has to, the applying company, the applicant has to be based in one of the eligible countries, which are the EU member states and Horizon 2020 associated countries and the United Kingdom. So first of all, you need to make sure that the daughter company is based in one of these eligible countries. And second of all, please consider the accumulated head units and number of employees and the income, the return of the whole group, if they are connected, in order to comply with the SME or mid-cap criteria for eligible entities. Very fruitful. Thank you very much, Cesar, for joining. The certified DIH for our country is not an approved EDIC. Is it possible for SMEs to use approved EDIC to apply for this call? We have a follow-up question, Gladys, on the question from Christina.
Yes. As I said, yes, European Digital Innovation Hub are newly selected, and as they are not operational right now, and for this call, we choose to rely only on the Digital Innovation Hub. So the same answer I will say than previously, try to get in touch with a Digital Innovation Hub already certified in your country.
Okay, so just as we said before, maybe get in touch with the DIH in the country that is with a certified DIH in your own country, Christina, and see if you can sort out a collaboration. If you have SMEs applying for the assessment voucher, maybe you can figure out the collaboration. Let me just remind you that the SME, the manufacturing SME or mid-cap, is the eligible applicant to the open call, but they can subcontract services from the DIHs in order to deliver, from the certified DIHs, in order to deliver the assessment report. Then we have a question from Jaron. Are there changes in the process and in the assessment in comparison to the first voucher call? No significant changes here. So we are following the same guidelines. We are following the same criteria, both for eligibility and for the evaluation. If there is something in particular, would you like to address something in particular regarding this this process, Jaron? No, I'm guessing not. So no significant changes compared to the first call. Okay, no particular issues. We are just following the same track, the eligibility criteria for the applicant. As you could see, the application form, and then the evaluation process will go through the criteria that we mentioned: excellence, impact, implementation, and then we'll have the proposals above threshold will be entering the consensus meeting of the Change to Twin consortium, and the ones selected will be invited to sign the subcontract group. Thank you, Gladys, for sharing the list of the certified EIHs. So if there aren't any other questions, I can't see any more in the chat, and if we have managed to answer some of your doubts, maybe convince you to take the step to apply for the assessment voucher with the Change to Twin, please remember we are available in the community or through the help desk. You can always send us a message. We are available for the DIHs as well, for the certified DIHs, if they have particular situations, or maybe if they just want us to introduce the open call within their ecosystem. We are more than happy to adjust their requirement and make other presentations within their hubs. Other than that, we are waiting for your applications, and we are looking forward to seeing you in the further stages of our application process. Thank you very much for your time today, and we wish you all a very, very good weekend. It's very close. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Tor. Gladys, thank you. Francesca and Marcela.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.